Welcome to SU News. I'm Eleni Mata.
And I'm Shauna Newcomb. Today on SU News, we have a reporter at Government Center to talk to you about travel after recent terrorist attacks throughout Europe.
Also, find out how students are reacting to a tuition increase here at Suffolk University. But first, our very own Lauren Barabee has a peek on the weather for us. Lauren?
Thank you, Eleni. Well, we're keeping a close watch on the weather this week with the marathon approaching. And those April showers bring May flowers, and we've definitely seen that heavy rain yesterday. I've got more coming up on the weather for SU News.
Welcome back. I'm Eleni Mata.
And I'm Shauna Newcomb. The fight between the Suffolk Board of Trustees and President Margaret McKenna is not coming to an end anytime soon. President of Reagan Communications, George Reagan, sat down with Commonwealth Magazine and wasn't afraid to give his opinion about the recent controversy at Suffolk.
The public relations company formerly represented Suffolk before the school allegedly broke contract. Reagan said the school made a horrible decision and that his fight against the university is ongoing. Trustees on the board have worked at Reagan's firm, causing McKenna to declare a conflict of interest. His opinions on McKenna? He declares she has no right being the leader and that she has made a lot of enemies. Officials at Suffolk have yet to comment on Reagan's interview.
A professor at Salem State University is recovering after being stabbed by a student inside of a campus building. Police say that the English professor, Pierre Walker, was stabbed 20 to 30 times by the suspect, Salem State senior Stephen Chastain. The professor did not know the attacker, and police believe it was a random act. The suspect is set to undergo a mental health evaluation. Mayor Marty Walsh approved a Boston City Council ban on taxpayer-funded travel to North Carolina. The state passed a law mandating use of bathrooms by gender assignment at birth rather than gender identity. The North Carolina law also bars the local state government from passing anti-discrimination laws which would protect gay and transgender people. Mayor Walsh said, "In Boston, we believe that all individuals should be treated equally."
Nearly 900 tasers are being distributed to the Massachusetts state police officers in an effort to avoid gunfire when apprehending uncooperative suspects. Until now, only troopers on special operations carried the stun guns. The state police department has established a rigorous training program for those using the weapon. A new revelation in the Brussels attacks suggests that the terror group initially planned to strike Paris, France again. Prosecutors say that Belgium was actually a last-minute decision, and after the terrorists feared the arrest of the progression of the investigation, they rushed the attack. These details emerged following the arrest of Mohamed Abrani, who was involved in both the Paris and Belgium terror sprees. SU News reporter Casey Hall is live at the new Government Center in downtown Boston, where thousands of travelers walk through each day. Casey?
Thank you, Eleni. On March 22nd, terror happened in Brussels. Three bombers at two different locations. One at a metro station similar to our own Government Center, killed 35 people and injured 300 more. In our last show, we showed a short clip of an interview with a student from Brussels. Today we have more about how the country is getting back on their feet and going back to normality from these horrible occurrences.
It's been just over 3 weeks since the suicide bombing attacks in Belgium. 2 bombs at the airport in Zaventem and 1 at the Malbec metro station in Brussels. In the biggest terrorism attack of the country's history, 3 days of national mourning were scheduled, where people could come together in this time of tragedy. But the transition back to normality from an event like this can be difficult for a country.
Everything was supposed to be locked down, like all the stores were supposed to be closed and all the classes were supposed to be cancelled. Then this actually happened the day after, so on Wednesday. But then on Thursday it was back like nothing happened.
Jordan Duchlouin, a student in Brussels, Belgium, believes his country will show their true colors.
We don't want the terrorists to give an image of Belgium that is like very sad and very like not friendly and very close and like a very dangerous place. So that's why I think people want to move on and want to say, to go on the street and protest and say, no, we are not afraid of what's going on, and we will keep live like the life we live.
Since the November Paris attacks, France and Belgium have come together for support. And from political meetings, that support seems like it will continue.
Interesting to see that the French president and the First Minister of Belgium were together to stick together and to act as one.
Now, just 3 days before the Brussels attacks, Salah Abdeslam was arrested and linked to the Paris attacks in Brussels. This past weekend, 3 more men were arrested in relation to the Brussels case. This shows that countries like France and Belgium will not put up with the attacks from terrorism in Europe any longer, especially for the rest of this year. Reporting live from Government Center, I'm Casey Hall, SU News.
Thank you, Casey.
Only a few weeks into the spring semester, Suffolk University announced a tuition increase for the upcoming academic year. Although the university claims the increases are minor, SU News reporters spoke with students who are going to face a big financial impact.
With finals around the corner, students have more to worry about than just grades.
I am stressed out paying my own tuition. I also have to pay my own rent and all my bills as well.
And the mounted debt is getting bigger. Students were shocked. Another increase in tuition at Suffolk University.
So there's always that worry of not being able to go back to school the following semester because I'm not going to be able to pay my tuition.
College is stressful. Paying for it is even worse. And being at a university centered in a major city, the price isn't cheap.
A lot of their students are on scholarship or they're receiving help from financial aid, and we're under a lot of stress going to school and looking for jobs and everything, and I think they need to keep that in mind and remember who is actually attending Suffolk, and we don't have that kind of money in our pocket.
Financially, it hurts. It hurts in the wallet. With this tuition increase, full-time students will be paying $820 more, and that's without housing. Financially independent students are in for a tough year, and they wish that their school was more sympathetic.
I wish that Suffolk would care more about the students who are paying themselves through school and think about that before they raise the tuition prices.
The university claims the increases are necessary to the academic experience, but if prices continue to rise, students are worried they may not be able to afford a college degree.
Has political satire gone too far? Donald Trump thinks so after the Boston Globe published a fake front page envisioning a nightmarish Trump presidency. The cover features headlines such as "Markets Sink as Trade War Looms" and "Riots Continue," in reference to the candidate's pledge to deport 1 million undocumented immigrants. Trump is calling the Boston Globe stupid and worthless after scathing the editorial.
A political candidate is really getting on top of the heroin crisis. Literally, a New Hampshire woman is behind bars now for selling heroin stamped with the Donald Trump logo. Police made the arrest after she sold 2 bags of drugs to a confidential informant. Major changes are coming to one of Boston's oldest trolleys, which may affect thousands of commuters.
And want a chance to see the Olympics live in Rio? Why, now is the perfect time to buy tickets. We'll have that and more coming up on SU News.
If you don't fix them, sparks from dragging tow chains could cause a wildfire, and that could be scary. Smokey. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
Alvin and the Chipmunks want to remind you, bacteria can hide in food and make you ill.
Wow!
But you can keep bacteria from ruining your day with 4 simple steps. Clean.
I'm waiting for the rinse cycle.
Separate. Cook.
Fire in the hole!
And chill.
We chipmunks are notoriously tidy.
Check your steps. The road trip to food safety starts at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome back. I'm Shauna Newcomb.
And I'm Eleni Mata. The Boston Marathon is coming soon, and the city is already preparing. Governor Baker and Mayor Marty Walsh unveiled a new tribute to those who were killed in the 2013 marathon bombings. The blue and yellow Boston Strong banner will greet runners about a mile from the finish line as they cross the intersection of Comm Ave and Charles Gate West. The 120th Boston Marathon will take place on Monday, April 18th. On the Republican side for the race to the White House, we might see new names. Different groups of Republicans are working hard to add former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice as a nominee. The Republican convention isn't until April, and currently Donald Trump leads with the most delegates next to Cruz and Kasich, but there are delegates who have put in their vote for a fourth runner. Paul Ryan has also been subject of having him as a nominee, but he announced yesterday he does not and will not accept the nomination.
The MBTA is back at it again, and not everyone is happy about it. There is a move to change part of the history and nostalgia along one trolley line. Joining us live at Government Center is SU News reporter Jeanette Oriel. Jeanette?
Yes, Shauna. Here in Government Center, this is the latest MBTA station built, but across the city lies what is probably one of the oldest MBTA trolleys functioning right now. I went out and catched up with riders to see what their thoughts are on the possible change to their commute.
Many have probably never heard of it, but thousands of commuters depend on it daily. The Mattapan high-speed line has been around since the Depression era, and MBTA officials say the 10 presidential conference cars are reaching the end of their life. The historic trolleys have been running from Mattapan Station through Milton to Ashmont and back daily for almost 90 years, and when the aging trolleys break down, maintenance crews have to reach out to railroad museums for parts. But although they've been around since the stock market crash of 1929, riders still prefer to take the ride in these old trolleys.
An estimated 2,000 commuters depend on the Mattapan trolley daily, and some say replacing this historic ride with buses like this one will be inconvenient to their everyday commute.
That saves a lot of time for people going here and there. So I think it's important for the trolley to be here. Much more efficient than the buses.
MBTA officials discussed paving over the tracks and replacing them with shuttle buses. Elected officials are not on track with the idea. Last month, Boston City Councilors, state representatives, and Milton selectmen wrote letters to the MBTA objecting to shuttle or electric buses. Residents and officials are not only concerned about convenience and the historic nature of the trolley, but also the impact on property values and the environmental issues if buses were to replace the trolleys. One Milton resident said he'd prefer the 90-year-old trolley cars to be updated.
I know I read about it in the paper that they had new ones, but I think I saw it once, 2 years ago on New Year's Eve. I rode one 2 years ago, but I haven't seen one since. Where are they?
The MBTA is waiting for an engineer's report evaluating whether the trolleys are worth saving. The report is due this summer, and the public will be invited to comment before final decisions are made.
In that letter where elected officials wrote to the MBTA, they urged the Fiscal and Management Control Board to approve a $3 million appropriation to help fund the trolley. The fate of the Mattapan trolley will be determined in an upcoming meeting with the MBTA. Live at the Government Center, I'm Jeanette Oriel, SU News.
Thank you, Jeanette. Taxpayers in Massachusetts will have a few extra days this year to file their returns. The IRS says the nationwide deadline for federal tax returns has been moved to April 18th because of the Emancipation holiday in Washington, D.C. Massachusetts residents have until April 19th because of Patriots' Day, which falls on the 18th this year.
SeaWorld's decision to end the long run of their orca whale breeding program had many celebrating that the orcas can now be free. But there's another side that sees differently. Marine scientists share their disappointments with the end of the breeding program because they fear that they will lose vital opportunities to learn more in helping killer whales in the wild. SeaWorld has 29 orcas in captivity on display in 3 separate parks that will continually be studied by scientists around the world.
Powerful winds from the snowstorm last week was to blame for the death of an Abington couple. 49-year-old Franklin Teixeira and his wife, 51-year-old Manuela, were struck and killed by a tree as they were driving Sunday morning. Abington police report it as an unfortunate circumstance. Winds exceeded more than 50 miles per hour.
Coming up, we'll check up with Lauren to see if spring will finally come this way.
And a knife was found on O.J. Simpson's property. Is it or is it not the murder weapon? We'll have a story with that coming up next.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know. Come alive with the forest. The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Welcome back. I'm Shauna Newcomb.
And I'm Eleni Mata.
In Massachusetts last year, we experienced record-setting snowfall, and some people say that snow helped set another record, fewer murders. The number of homicides in Massachusetts fell in a 10-year low to only 133 killings in 2015.
Now, this is only 13 less than 2014, but law enforcement officials believe that this is due to a crackdown on gang violence, drug trafficking, and illegal guns. Boston Police Commissioner William Evans believed that youth outreach programs, community walks, and the snow helped bring down the crime rates. We've been having some very confusing weather the past couple of weeks, haven't we, Shauna?
We have.
Now, Lauren, what can you tell us to expect in the upcoming days?
Well, Lainey, in the upcoming days, we can expect people from around the world to be keeping an eye on the weather in Boston as we gear up to host the Boston Marathon. But first, we'll take a look at weather in the greater New England region. We're experiencing seasonal temperatures around New England with average temperatures around the mid-50 range, between 50 to 55. Upstate Maine is experiencing 52s, 53. Now we'll take a look at Massachusetts, where we're having seasonal temperatures here, again in that seasonal range in between the 50 to 60 range. 51 out towards Pittsfield, 55 in Springfield, and around 50 degrees here in Boston. Now let's take a look at our 5-day forecast, and it's looking great. It's not bad at all, going to be very mild, very spring-like. Wednesday, today, we are having temperatures around 51, and throughout the week, we can expect lows to be just around 38 degrees. Thursday, bright sunshine. Friday, sunshine again. Saturday, more sunshine. The pick of the week is going to be Sunday. We're nearing that 70-degree mark on Sunday with a high of 69, and it's warming up before we head into Marathon Monday. Shauna and Eleni, back to you.
Thank you, Lauren. Now I can't wait for Sunday because it's going to be the hottest day of the week.
That's my only day off, so I'm looking forward to that too.
Now, how does the saying go, you're not you when you're hungry? I know I'm not. A man broke into Washington Five Guys restaurant early Friday morning to cook himself a sandwich. Police say that the suspect followed a delivery man into the restaurant, waited for him to leave, and made himself a cheeseburger. If that wasn't enough, he also stole a water bottle on his way out. It's a real-life Hamburglar situation.
The knife found at O.J. Simpson's estate has been ruled out as a murder weapon. As previously reported, a small bladed knife was discovered by a construction worker on the property. LAPD Police Captain Andrew Neiman says DNA, blood, and fiber tests have been conducted and concluded that based on the results, the case is still open. Simpson was acquitted of the double murder in 1994.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, or in this case, a woman's. SU reporter Dior Sarah has a heartwarming story of a no-kill animal shelter and the journey to find the perfect pet.
Sienna came to this family in a special way.
She had been in foster care for 2 months before I got her. She had been starved. She was not quite a year old.
Deb Kroll came across the Northeast Animal Shelter. This is the largest no-kill shelter in New England.
They take wonderful care of their pets, and they really do make sure that they're healthy and whatnot before you get them.
The Northeast Animal Shelter's first duty is to rescue as many animals as they can from all over the country.
We're getting dogs from California, Texas, Georgia, Alabama, Virginia, and they are either flown up or they're driven up in vans.
The shelter's second duty is to find each and every animal a loving home. More than 150 animals a week are rescued by the Northeast Animal Shelter. Hershey is a 3-year-old Chihuahua mix looking for a good home. They come in all shapes and sizes, but they all have something in common: the need for a loving home.
They're always there for you when you come home. They're so happy to see you come home.
Reporting for Suffolk U News, I'm Dior Sarah.
Dior will join us in the studio next week to give us an update on Hershey's adoption process. Now, for those who are kind of iffy about Uber right now, there might be a new hail riding service, but is it legal?
Also, 2016 Olympics are having trouble selling tickets. Get more details next.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Hey Gabby, how you doing? How's the play date and sleepover?
Dad, it was great.
Awesome. Okay, I'm on my way. Hey guys, what are you doing?
We're going swimming! We're going biking! Yeah!
I'll see you in a little bit, guys. I love you.
Hi, babe. How was school today?
Hi, Dad. It was great.
Okay, honey. I'll be home soon. Remember, you're never too far away from your kids to be a dad. Reach out and take a second to check in, because sometimes the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Welcome back. I'm Shauna Newcomb.
And I'm Eleni Mata.
We are still early into the spring season, but we just had the opening day at Red Sox Fenway. Unfortunately, the Red Sox lost 9-7 to the Baltimore Orioles. More on sports. We have our Katie Martineau in the studio. Tell us more, Katie.
Thank you, Shauna. Well, the Red Sox may not be off to a great start, but the Suffolk men's baseball team is. They won their doubleheader on Sunday, excuse me. The Bats came alive during the late innings of Game 1, leading the Rams to a 13-8 win over LaSalle College. They continued with their hot bats in Game 2, collecting 23 hits and steamrolling to 17 runs. More than 10 Ram batters hit better than .333 on the day, as Suffolk produced 23 hits over the 2 games. Suffolk's Tuesday contest against Mass Maritime was canceled due to rain. The women's softball team is also in the midst of a hot streak, winning 5 out of their last 6 games. Sophomore outfielder Devlin Frost has been named the GNAC Player of the Week after collecting 7 hits and holding a .538 batting average over the last 4 games. Frost's stellar play helped the Rams split a series against Emmanuel College and to sweep LaSalle College. And they improved to an overall 12-4 record. That's all that we have for sports. Back to you, Eleni and Shauna.
Thank you, Katie. Do you want a seat at the 2016 Rio Olympic Games? Well, there are plenty waiting for you. With 4 months until opening day ceremony, only half of all of the event tickets have been sold. Concerns for these games have been in the spotlight for some time now. The country is currently in the midst of a political reform, an economic collapse, and health issues circling the Zika virus.
While athletes and health experts have raised concerns about delaying the games, Olympic officials seem uninterested in the idea. They are looking for ways to boost ticket sales by reassuring fan safety as well as the city's ability to host the games. There has even been talk about government buying and giving the tickets to Brazil's public schools.
On April 15th, the city of Boston will be celebrating an annual tradition. One Boston Day is an opportunity to honor the resiliency, generosity, and strength demonstrated by the people of Boston surrounding the Boston Marathon bombing tragedy of April 15, 2013. Mayor Walsh asked Bostonians to perform an act of kindness as a way to celebrate the community.
A new ride-hailing service is coming to Boston, but is it legal? The new ride-hailing app is called Chariot for Women and is expecting to begin providing services on April 19th. The twist? It will only serve women drivers and passengers. The founder, Michael Pellets, who is an Uber driver, decided to create an app after hearing of instances where women were attacked by their drivers and felt unsafe himself. Although many say the app is discriminatory and will likely face legal challenges, his goal is to keep women safe and says he looks forward to the legal battles.
Find out why Massachusetts residents may have to worry about lead in their drinking water.
Coming up next, more details on the new casino that will come to the state by 2017.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Welcome back. I'm Shauna Newcomb.
And I'm Eleni Mata. Is there too much lead in Massachusetts water? That's what the question residents are asking. Testing samples revealed water systems are serving more than 264,000 Massachusetts residents have exceeded the federal lead standard at least once during the past 3 years. However, more than half of these water systems are privately owned and only reflect a small sample of size of the state's population. The city of Boston has not gone over the lead limit since 2013.
The wait is finally over for members of the Mashpee Wampanoag tribe, including myself. Last week, ground was broken for the resort casino that is to come in Taunton, Mass. This will be Massachusetts' third casino and is expected to be open by 2017.
But this is not the only casino breaking ground. Wynn's new casino coming to Everett now has a new name. Chairman and CEO of Wynn Resorts, Steve Wynn, visited the Bay State in March to show the new 3D model of what will be called Wynn's Boston Harbor. The $2 billion casino is still involved in a legal battle with the city of Somerville, which has opposed to the casino due to traffic and environmental concerns. The casino is set to sit on the Mystic River, which connects to the Boston Harbor. There is no targeted opening date as of yet.
I can't wait to go to the casino.
Me neither, now that we're of age.
Of course. Well, that's all we have for today's SU News. I'm Shauna Newcomb.
And I'm Eleni Mata. Thanks for joining us and have a great rest of your day.